500 meters below the surface of Iran, over 1,600 feet down, deeper than the Empire State Building is tall. And at that depth, carved into one of the hardest rocks on Earth, Iran has built something the Pentagon never expected: an entire city, underground, with missile launch facilities, automated rail systems, command centers, living quarters for hundreds of people, self-sufficient power generation, everything needed to fight a war for years. And here's the part that should terrify Washington. America's most powerful bunker buster can't reach it. The GBU-57, 30,000 pounds of explosive designed to destroy deeply buried targets. It penetrates 200 feet of concrete. This facility is 1,600 feet down. Iran has built a fortress that's literally untouchable. The Yazd underground missile city, located in central Iran, buried inside a mountain made of Shirkuh granite, one of the hardest geological formations on Earth. It can withstand pressures that would pulverize reinforced concrete. Standard concrete has a compressive strength of 3,000 pounds per square inch. Reinforced military-grade concrete, 15,000 psi. Shirkuh granite, over 30,000 psi. When the Pentagon realized what Iran had built, they ran the calculations. A GBU-57 penetrates 200 feet of reinforced concrete. Yazd is buried 1,600 feet down. The weapon detonates at 200 feet. The explosion dissipates through solid granite. 1,500 feet below, nothing happens. The facility doesn't shake. So what's down there? These underground cities are more sophisticated than most realize. Yazd includes an automated rail system, missiles stored in climate-controlled chambers deep inside the mountain. When Iran launches, the rail moves the missile to an assembly area. Crews attach warheads and program coordinates. Then a truck transports it to launch position. Everything happens underground. The missile surfaces only for launch. Then the truck returns and the entrance seals. From satellite perspective, you see brief activity. Then, nothing. You can't target what you can't see. And even knowing where it is, you can't reach it. The living quarters support long-term occupation. Over 200 people can live inside Yazd for extended periods. Dormitories, mess halls, medical facilities, command centers with communications equipment, independent power using diesel generators, water from underground aquifers, air filtration for chemical or biological attacks. It's not a bunker. It's a self-contained military base 1,500 feet underground. During the war, U.S. intelligence confirmed Iran moved commanders into these facilities. They're operating from locations the U.S. cannot touch. Yazd isn't the only one. Iran built multiple underground missile cities. Estimates range from 5 to 10 major facilities, each buried hundreds of meters inside mountains, each filled with missiles, launchers, and personnel. The Institute for the Study of War documented 6 separate strikes on Yazd since the war started. The U.S. keeps hitting it. Iran keeps operating. The strikes damage surface structures, maybe collapse an entrance. Iran clears debris and continues. The core facility stays untouched. Then there's Tehran. Intelligence reports exposed a tunnel network under the capital, 5 kilometers long, connecting entry points across the city. Hospitals, schools, residential neighborhoods, all hiding entrances to an underground command complex in northeastern Tehran, multi-level, designed to house leadership during conflicts. When war started in February, the supreme leader moved into this complex, stayed for weeks, issuing commands from a bunker designed to replicate his residence. The room looked identical. Videos showed him appearing normal. Nobody could tell he was underground. Iran's leadership isn't fleeing. They're fighting from fortified positions the U.S. can't eliminate. Israel tried. March 6th, the IDF struck the supreme leader's bunker, released video showing entry points and tunnels. The strike damaged tunnels, collapsed entrances. The core facility, still operational. Too deep, weapons don't reach. Iran designed these specifically to survive advanced attacks. They studied every bunker buster in the American arsenal, calculated penetration depths, built deeper. Keshem Island, in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran calls it their unsinkable aircraft carrier. Underground facilities built into natural caves, missiles, drones, naval forces, hidden inside. When Iran attacks ships in Hormuz, weapons come from Kashem. Launchers disappear into caves. The U.S. targeted Keshem repeatedly. The island keeps launching. OGOB 44, underground airbase unveiled 2023, houses fighters, bombers, drones inside a mountain. Hangars, maintenance, fuel storage, runways emerging when needed. Satellite imagery shows surface damage. Underground base? Still operating. Here's what this means. The Pentagon's strategy was straightforward. Destroy Iran's military through air power. 13,000 strikes first month. Thousands of targets hit. It worked on the surface. Iran's visible capabilities took massive damage. Airfields destroyed. Surface installations obliterated. Problem is, Iran's real capabilities aren't on surface. They're underground, in facilities the U.S. can't reach. The only weapon that could destroy these cities is nuclear, and the U.S. won't nuke Iran. So Iran keeps fighting, launching from facilities surviving every strike, operating from command centers too deep to target. This is why Trump's deadlines keep failing, why Iran hasn't surrendered despite months of bombardment, why ceasefire negotiations go nowhere. Iran isn't negotiating from weakness. They're negotiating from fortresses that proved the Pentagon's strategy doesn't work. You can't bomb someone into submission if bombs can't reach them. Iran spent decades preparing for this war, watched the U.S. destroy Iraq in weeks, studied how American air power overwhelms defenses, built infrastructure to survive it, not by matching American technology, by going where it can't follow. Deep underground, into granite mountains, beyond reach of any weapon except ones the U.S. won't use. The Pentagon knows. Intelligence assessments confirm Iran retains significant capability despite damage inflicted. Underground cities work. Missiles keep launching. Command structure stays intact. The U.S. has no conventional answer. Some military analysts suggest the only option is sustained siege warfare. Cut Iran off completely. Blockade all ports, stop all imports, starve the country until leadership surrenders. But that takes years, causes massive civilian suffering, creates humanitarian crisis, and Iran's underground facilities have supplies for extended operations. They planned for siege. Others suggest cyber warfare. Attack the computer systems controlling the rail networks and missile guidance. But Iran's most critical systems are air-gapped, not connected to internet. Hard to hack what you can't reach digitally. Special forces insertion is another option. Send teams to infiltrate and sabotage from inside, except these facilities are designed against internal threats. Multiple security checkpoints, biometric access controls. Anyone going in who isn't supposed to be there gets caught. The reality is simple. Iran built something the U.S. can't destroy with available tools. 1,600 feet of granite defeats every conventional weapon. The war isn't ending through military victory. It ends when one side decides continuing isn't worth the cost. Right now, Iran's betting they can outlast American patience. From 1,600 feet underground, protected by the hardest rock on Earth, that bet looks good. The U.S. dropped 30,000-pound bombs, conducted thousands of strikes, spent billions on the most advanced weapons ever built. And Iran's underground cities remain operational. That's not propaganda. That's engineering.